Hello everybody. Oh, we're having a crack day. Anyway, let's see if we can make this a bit more fun. We found a young lad last year called Lewis. And he's a bit of a star. He's only 12 and he's going to do the Q&A. So I think we best give him a mega round of applause. Welcome to the stage, Lewis.
It's good being introduced by a 2 times BTCC champion. How are we all today? We doing good? Yeah? Well, thank you all for coming to the filling station for the drivers Q&A. And if none of you know how a Q&A session works, I'll just quickly run through it. I'll ask the drivers some questions. While I'm asking the questions, I'll give you some time to think the questions, because then after we will, I'll pass over to you. You can ask the questions. You can ask the questions. That's basically how it goes. Simple. So, could you please welcome up to the stage number 88, Sam Tordoff. Now, Jason, yesterday on qualifying. You smashed the old lap record, which was good enough for second on grid.
You've made that sound as best as you can, haven't you? Because I was, the pace in a year, the improvement is remarkable. I think the person that was 12th on the grid did a time that was good enough for pole last year. So, but it wasn't good enough, Even with a tiny little mistake I made, I probably left no more than a 10th on the table, so I was at 10th off what I could have done. That would have been a perfect lap. Even then, that was a bit off Colin. So more work to do. We're not on the pace as we need to be yet. But second was a good effort. I was pretty tough.
Now, when I was standing during qualifying right down towards the first corner, you were one of the most committed drivers there was out of anyone.
I am a bit unhinged, to be fair. Qualifying is what it's all about, isn't it? You've got to go out there and put everything on the line and look for every last little split second you can. In fact, I was so committed on my second, or the lap after my fastest lap, I binned it, and my bag of talent wasn't as full as I thought it was. That normally gets a laugh. In fact, I had a hole in the bottom and I spun off. So we're still picking up points. It's not such a disaster, but the racing drivers were not happy unless we're winning.
No, you started obviously second on the grid alongside Colin Turkington, and then the question: would the longer first gear really equal out rear-wheel drive and front-wheel drive? Seems it doesn't really, did it?
Well, we've got some very intelligent, clever people working in our team, and they're called engineers, and they crunch numbers. And there's a thing called physics, and you can't bend physics. It is what it is, and we knew before. We knew it was going to make no difference to the start. It might make a little bit, but rear-wheel drive by definition is a better. Offers better traction and therefore a better start. So, I think Colin didn't get a very good start. He made a mistake. But if you looked at Rob Collard, he still managed to go from row 3 almost into second place. So, it's tough. I want to be in a rear-wheel drive car now. Thanks very much. But it is swings and roundabouts, but I do think the rear-wheel drive car is perhaps coming into its own now.
And finally, before we pass over to you, Sam, you gave Rob Collard and Andrew Jordan a defending masterclass and kept your third.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed that actually. I quite enjoyed that race because when you're not looking forward and you're defending, you have to change your driving style and you have to think what your opponent is doing and where they're stronger and where you're weak and adopt the way you drive the car and that changes throughout the course of the race depending on how your tyres are wearing out and all those sorts of things. And it's good fun actually. It's really good to do that and so from that perspective I've enjoyed all the race.
Okay, now Sam, you qualified P7, and you did well to avoid all of the carnage that unfolded basically in the first lap.
Yeah, it was a reasonable qualifying session. We went quickest in free practice 2. I was really happy with the balance of the car. So we didn't do anything assuming that the circuit would stay the same. And unfortunately, the circuit moved a little bit and the balance wasn't quite there, and then we spent most of the qualifying chasing where we needed to be. But I was only 3 tenths off Jason, and I was P7, and I suppose if you take Colin out of the equation, it's really quite close to the front. You know, the front wheel drive cars are all really similar. Another 10th, and that would have got me on the next row. So I was a bit disappointed with qualifying, I do have to say. But the racing today has been completely different. Croft is such an abrasive circuit on tyres, and one of the reasons why the rear-wheel drive car is so good is because it's so kind to its tyres, and we just destroy our front tyres from the start. So it's been a tough whole day. Race 1 avoided the drama and held Menu off for as long as I could, and then he got past with Jackson, and that popped me back to 9th. And then race 2, a bit of an improvement. We started, at least I felt like I was in the race in race 2. Because the worst feeling as a racing driver is when you get off the start line and then you get settled in at the end of the first lap, and already there's problems with the car. And for race 1, for both me and Jason, immediately you've got to change your mindset of this is going to be a long race when you're looking in your mirror already at the end of lap 1. Thankfully, some of what I did to change the car for race 2 actually made a bit of an improvement. And so for the first half of the race, I was concentrating on trying to go forward and not back. So tough all day. Could do with the rain, to be honest. I think if it rains, we're going to be mega. But unfortunately, it's typical North. The first one time you want it to rain, it doesn't do so. I think, you know, if it had been wet today, we'd be standing here with completely different expressions on our faces. But it's been a tough day so far, and we need to try and sort it out.
Now you were talking about race 2, you had a good start, and after race 2, ball number 10 was drawn out. That means you start 3rd for race 3.
Yeah, so some positive. Starting P3, so again on the inside, which is tricky because turn 1 here is really difficult. If you're on the outside, you can be in all sorts of other people's crashes basically. So start P3, get a good start. The BMWs are a bit further down, so hopefully it'll take them a while to come through. The only worry is, well, the soft tyre usually over race systems is actually slower than the hard. And obviously with the tyre wear we've been having today, we anticipate the soft tyre to be worse. However, Tom Ingram, who's starting 2nd on the grid, he did his soft tyre in race 2. It was actually very quick. So you never know. Worrying thing is, if we struggle on the soft tyre, Tom's starting 2nd on the hard, and he should walk away with it.
Now Jason, sorry Sam. Jason.
That's definitely the name. Yeah, we've got a laugh. Trying to think of something again. They quite like your northern joke, didn't they? I think of a northern joke. Sorry, Bruce.
It looked like your car was sort of struggling with the extra ballast that you had for race 2.
It wasn't so much the extra ballast, it was we made some changes to the car to try and improve, which Sam alluded to, some of the front tyre wear issues we had. And it didn't actually improve the front remained the same, but it actually, the rear went away, so it was a difficult car to drive, it wasn't very stable, and I lost pace all around, so that was definitely a bad move for us. But the good news is, some of the changes that Sam made to his car, he's had a good feeling for, and we'll obviously have a look at that set up and bolt that onto mine, plus a few other little amazing ideas my engineers will come up with.
And in race 2, you also had a bit of contact with Alain Menu. What was your
Well, obviously, he selected reverse gear and drove into me. But But seriously, what I was attempting to do was to, I think they refer to it on the TV as the undercut. I was trying to get back under him coming out the exit of the corner. And in those sorts of instances, you know, inches, millimetres are important. And during that manoeuvre, you get a feel for the passing speed, the difference in the two cars, and that then enables you to kind of just gauge it to come in, to turn underneath him at mid-corner. And either I got it wrong by an inch or so, or, which is more likely, or he went in a bit too hot and didn't actually turn. So we've not seen the replays yet, because he went off a bit strange really, because had he been turning right, and I caught his left rear, and he wouldn't have gone off in the fashion. So what I think happened is, which will be tough to get him to admit it, is that actually wasn't turning enough, and that therefore put me in a difficult position where I couldn't avoid hitting him. Does that sound plausible? Right, well, that's not plausible. But I have to add, as an addendum to that, actually, I don't know yet because I need to have a look at the tapes. I could have made a mistake in this judgment. And likely as it might sound, but it is possible.
Okay, while I've been asking the driver some questions, I hope you have been thinking of your own questions. Very quickly, what's going to happen is I'm going to ask you all questions. I will pick you, please don't shout out. So, any questions? Jason, why did you spin off yesterday in qualifying?
I think we did it the first time. Like I said earlier, my ambition exceeded the grip level that the car was prepared to offer me at that moment in time. I just made a mistake. I bit off too much. I was pushing too hard, and I caught the curve at the apex of turn one, and the incident was going on for so long I just got bored and gave in.
Anybody else?
Yeah. Question for Sam. Who's the hardest person to overtake in the BTC?
So Sam, who is the hardest person to overtake on the grid?
That's a tough one. To be fair, JP does a good job of defending people. Rather, is it luck that is it better off that we're not together in that situation? I don't know. I've not tried to pass Jason. Or we never appear to spend a great deal of time together, which is probably the team are very grateful for that. There's Matt Neal's very difficult, and Gordon Shen. I think it comes with experience. I think it's one of them that the touring cars the BTCC is such a competitive field, and the likes of this man have been in it for so long that all that stuff plays a part. And on the days when your car's not quick enough, you have to win by other means, and defending is an art.
See, now I've just spotted my team manager heading this way with a funny look on his face, which means I'm needed by the stewards. Am I needed? Apparently I'm needed. So that story I gave you earlier, that's a good one. That's what I'm worried. I've got to go, because I'm in trouble. No, well, actually I'm not, I just wanted an explanation. I'll see you later. Right, you crack on.
Some more championship points because he gets excluded, so I'm not going to the front row. Will I be in the front row?
No.
How's that going to work? Oh no, I'll be fourth, won't I? Will I be fourth instead of third?
So you don't want him to?
No, I don't want him to get excluded. Change my mind.
Okay, anybody got a question for Sam now?
Come on, don't want 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just I'm the most challenging person to overtake. Well, challenging person, most challenging person, best defender is also the most challenging person to overtake. I think again it goes down to experience. The likes of JP, Matt Neal, Gordon Shedden, they're really tricky. On a day like today, you have to say Gordon Shedden because no one can get near him.
You in the driver call, Pat?
have a question, he just put his hand up.
What do you feel like when cars overtake you and you don't like them?
To be honest, I don't like many people. It's a difficult one, is that, because I think I actually go out of my way to not be friends with other drivers on the grid. It's one because you're in such a competitive environment. I think I actively hate other racing drivers. I think it's weird if one of the other guys out there is your best mate, then you're not going to do what you probably should do to him, which is remove him from the track. I think at the end of the day, I don't try to be friends with anyone. I think it's the same for everyone. I think you look at the JP Matt Neal shenanigans of years gone by, and that just goes to show you don't make friends.
Any more questions? Any adults? So we will come to you. Any adults? Wow. Yes.
Have you ever had a really bad crash?
Yep, several bad crashes. I did a lot of karting when I did 10 years of karting, rolled a few karts, that hurt. Luckily I don't remember a few of them. A few bad crashes. I wrote off a Clio at Alton Park about 5 years ago. I think the worst thing about crashing is, especially in a race car, is the moment when you accept you're about to have a massive shunt. It's never a nice one. There's a little while whilst you're on the grass, bouncing around out of control, where you think you might have enough time to sort it out. And then the worst feeling is that horrible sinking feeling when you accept that now I've got to let go of the steering wheel and brace for impact. And I think, it's not something I look forward to. And luckily I've not had any big shunts in the touring car, touch wood. Just put it out of your mind.
So we have time for a couple more questions. So adults, come on, stop thinking. Why did you car rubbish for this track?
I don't know. Good question. If you know the answer, go up to the team or and tell them. It's the nature of the beast. We can't be quick everywhere because every circuit's different and they are massively different. And unfortunately, the MG has a few flaws which are not quite ironed out yet. The likes of Honda have been more consistent than us, and that's ultimately why they won the championship. We'll be incredibly fast one weekend, and then unfortunately on our bad weekends we're sort of languishing the back end of the top 10, whereas the likes of Honda and now BMW, you've seen them come to fruition. They have a bad day, they still finish 5th. So that's what we've got to improve on.
Okay, last question. Come on, adults. There we go, in the back.
How do you mentally prepare yourself for a race?
How do I mentally prepare myself?
For a race.
I take the view that I like to be calm, I like to go for a quiet corner, think about what it is I'm going to do. There's actually a lot of people who do the complete opposite and fight themselves up and make themselves punch themselves in the head. Do some weird things. So I think I like to be calm. I like to visualise what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it, and really calm. Because I think one of the really difficult parts in BTCC is the start procedure. It's quite compared from the junior formula, it's quite complicated with everything we have to do with different start maps, the handbrake that we have to artificially create for ourselves. So there's a lot going on, and stuff like that. I think I personally find it a lot easier where I'm calm and I can concentrate on what I'm doing rather than going crazy and the red mist is already there and I'm hitting the steering wheel.
Okay, thank you very much everyone for coming to the Q&A session today. Please help me put your hands together to help the driver who is here in wishing him luck for race 3 and mentally wish Jason Plato some luck so he can get out with that.
It's not got a chance, has it?